I think a lot of people thought that he was just joking around. It turns out he's not. So this is actually a real project that's being made under his G-Unit movie and TV studio.
Go back to that 50 Cent post, and I'm gonna tell you why 50 is literally a diabolical genius.
The upcoming Netflix documentary series by 50 Cent, titled Diddy Do It Asterisk, is poised to become one of the most controversial projects ever on the platform, delving into serious allegations against some of the most influential figures in the music industry, including Diddy Combs and Jay-Z. With both Diddy and Jay-Z reportedly scrambling to block its release through courtroom battles, cease and desist orders, and frantic legal actions, the stakes have never been higher. The intense efforts to halt the documentary raise the question: what is revealed in it that has these music icons so desperate to prevent its release? Let's explore what has them terrified.
That's someone like a blackmail. He was blackmailing people to be in the freak-offs. So that's federal. That could be that's a federal charge. He can't blackmail people to say, yo, listen here, you did it once and you're gonna do it again. That ain't gonna make it with the government or nobody.
When 50 Cent announced last year that he was working on a documentary exposing Diddy's alleged misdeeds, few took him seriously, especially given his long history of trolling Diddy on social media. However, things quickly shifted as Diddy's legal troubles erupted into public view, with investigations, lawsuits, and shocking accusations revealing a hidden world even hip-hop fans hadn't anticipated. Now, with Jay-Z's name also involved, the stakes are higher than ever. The legal battle to suppress the documentary has escalated, with both Diddy and Jay-Z reportedly filing cease and desist orders in an attempt to block footage and interviews. Their legal teams are working overtime to discredit the series before it airs. Jay-Z's lawyers, in particular, have been aggressive, arguing the documentary infringes on his privacy and could irreparably harm his public image. But if they have nothing to hide, why the urgency to shut it down? The answer seems to lie in the contents of the series itself.
Rap mogul Jay-Z is denying allegations he assaulted a 13-year-old girl alongside rapper Diddy Combs. That civil lawsuit filed against Combs in October was amended Sunday to include Jay-Z. The accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, says she was assaulted by both.
The documentary reportedly goes beyond the headlines, delving into the darker side of the music industry and exposing a web of questionable behavior and alleged exploitation. Sources close to the production claim it includes interviews with former insiders, employees, and even alleged victims, painting a damning picture of what went on behind the scenes, from secret recordings to lavish parties. The series promises to reveal details that could tarnish the reputations of two of hip-hop's biggest names. While 50 Cent has made it clear that he is no fan of Diddy or Jay-Z, he insists his goal is to give a voice to those who have been silenced for years. For Diddy, the stakes are incredibly high, as the allegations against him span decades, with claims that he used his power to cross both ethical and legal boundaries. Despite his denials, the growing number of accusations has cast a long shadow over his career, and with the release of the documentary, that shadow could deepen. Early reports suggest the series includes chilling first-hand accounts from people who attended Diddy's infamous gatherings, adding a level of credibility that's difficult to ignore.
Surprised with the decision. I'm surprised that Judge Subramanian entertained it. He held a 2-hour hearing, which we were covering live, and he issued a 5-page written order. Most other judges, including the 2 previous judges, to consider this issue, summarily denied the bail motion. I think a lot of it stems from Judge Subramanian being a newer judge. This is a Biden appointment.
Jay-Z now finds himself in a similarly precarious position. Known as a savvy businessman and cultural icon, recent allegations have brought attention to parts of his past that he may prefer to keep hidden. A bombshell lawsuit filed against him late last year accused him of being involved in deeply troubling behavior alongside Diddy. Although Jay-Z has strongly denied the claims, calling them baseless and opportunistic, the timing of the lawsuit couldn't be worse, especially with the documentary set to explore their long-standing connection. The pressure on him is mounting as the series threatens to shine a harsh light on his past actions.
And energy, internationally, and 50 Cent, Jay-Z.
What makes the situation even more intriguing is the long-standing history between 50 Cent, Diddy, and Jay-Z, with tension between the three having simmered for years. 50 Cent has always been vocal about his disdain for both men, frequently mocking them in interviews and on social media, but his decision to create the documentary goes beyond petty rivalries or industry competition. According to 50 Cent, the series aims to expose what he views as systemic abuse of power within the music industry. The truth, however, is messy and explosive. The documentary reportedly includes never-before-seen footage and documents that reveal how Diddy and Jay-Z allegedly used their influence to avoid scrutiny, addressing everything from secret deals to personal relationships that may have crossed moral lines. For fans who have idolized these figures, it promises to be a shocking wake-up call, and for Diddy and Jay-Z, it represents a direct threat to the empires they've spent years building.
You know, so it's a huge difference in who we are with each other internationally. Let them be fooled in America and think there's a competition there, because America can be purchased.
The potential fallout from the documentary's release is immense, as both Diddy and Jay-Z have built their brands on images of success, innovation, and resilience. They are not just musicians, but moguls, philanthropists, and cultural icons. But if the allegations in the docuseries hold weight, everything they've built could come crashing down. Endorsements, business deals, and partnerships could be at risk, not to mention their legacies in an industry where reputation is everything. Additionally, the public's reaction is a major factor. Fans of both men are fiercely loyal, but even the most dedicated supporters may struggle to reconcile these allegations with the figures they've admired for years. Social media has already sparked heated debates, with some defending their idols while others demand accountability. The court of public opinion is a powerful force, and whether the documentary ultimately reinforces or challenges these allegations, its impact on public perception will be profound.
Everybody was in there, and I was like, man, I'm telling you, man, y'all got a chance right now. Just flood it, put out a lot of music, because 50 Cent is coming.
Perhaps the most fascinating aspect of this saga is how it reveals the power dynamics within the music industry. For years, Diddy and Jay-Z have stood at the top of the game, seemingly untouchable, weathering scandals, controversies, and rivalries without significant repercussions. However, this time feels different. The docuseries represents a rare moment when the walls of celebrity privilege appear to be closing in, and for 50 Cent, it's an opportunity to finally level the playing field, exposing the hidden forces that have long shielded these icons from scrutiny.
Flex. Here. I've always said that. I always felt like that, right?
While 50 Cent is clearly relishing the chaos, he's also facing his own set of challenges. Critics have accused him of using the docuseries to settle old scores, questioning whether his motives are truly altruistic. And some have pointed out that he's no stranger to controversy himself, suggesting his hands aren't entirely clean. However, 50 Cent remains unfazed, insisting that his focus is on telling the stories that need to be heard. "Say what you want about me," he reportedly told a friend. "This isn't about me, this is about justice." As the release date approaches, the tension between all parties is palpable, with legal threats flying back and forth and both Diddy and Jay-Z reportedly considering additional lawsuits to block the project. Meanwhile, 50 Cent stays defiant, teasing fans with cryptic social media posts and promising that the documentary will be worth the wait. "You think you've seen it all," one recent post read. "You haven't seen anything yet." The question now is whether the documentary will live up to the hype or be buried under legal battles and industry politics. But one thing is certain, the story has already captivated the public's imagination, sparking heated debates and endless speculation. As more details emerge, it's clear this is just the beginning of a long and dramatic saga.
We haven't seen the indictments yet. There's been some time lag. I suppose it will take some time to go through all the forensic, evidence.
The stakes are enormous, the allegations are shocking, and the players involved are some of the biggest names in the game. But will the truth finally be revealed, or will the powerful forces at play manage to keep it hidden? One thing is certain, this is a story that no one can afford to overlook.
As far as, is he going to turn people in? Is he going to cooperate? If the federal government wants him to cooperate and they're going to cut his time, because right now he's looking at 15 to life. With all the charges he had to, he won't get out till 70 years old. He about 70. That's when they start talking about letting him come to a halfway.
The tension between Diddy, Jay-Z and 50 Cent is reaching a fever pitch, and it's about much more than just a Netflix docuseries. The entire music industry, and perhaps even Hollywood itself, is holding its breath as these entertainment giants are locked in what feels like a battle for survival. But how did things get to this point? How did these former collaborators and supposed friends end up on opposite sides of one of the most scandalous sagas the industry has ever seen? The truth is, the history between Diddy, Jay-Z, and 50 Cent is complex and messy, with decades of twists and turns that have fueled the escalating feud. In the 1990s, Diddy and Jay-Z seemed like the ultimate power duo in hip-hop, both young, ambitious, and hungry for success. Diddy, with his flashy style and larger-than-life persona, was the face of Bad Boy Records, dominating the charts with artists like the notorious Big and Maze. Meanwhile, Jay-Z, rising from the streets of Brooklyn, was making his mark as the co-founder of Rockefeller Records. Together, they embodied the New York hustle, attending the same events, celebrating each other's wins, and occasionally collaborating. By the early 2000s, they were two of the most recognizable figures in the music industry, seemingly unstoppable forces with the world at their feet.
What by his sister-in-law on camera. What's her name? Solange. You gotta imagine, the feds ain't step in and do nothing. The feds don't care about you getting your ass whooped.
As time went on, the public began to notice subtle jabs between Diddy and Jay-Z. In interviews, Diddy would occasionally throw shade at artists who, in his words, forgot who paved the way for them. While he never named names, many assumed he was referring to Jay-Z. Meanwhile, Jay-Z, known for keeping his criticisms more veiled, started referencing his disdain for flashy businessmen in his lyrics, a line many interpreted as a dig at Diddy's over-the-top persona. Though the tension simmered beneath the surface, it never fully boiled over, at least not until 50 Cent entered the scene. 50 Cent's arrival in the early 2000s was like a wrecking ball crashing into the carefully curated world of hip-hop royalty. He didn't just want to succeed, he wanted to dominate, and he had no problem calling out anyone in his way. His debut album was an instant classic, propelling him to the top of the charts and making him a household name almost overnight.
Scared of him? I think they don't want him to embarrass their reputation and things that they've been known for. You understand?
One of 50 Cent's earliest targets was Diddy, and he wasted no time making his feelings known. In interviews, he mocked Diddy's music, calling it soft and accusing him of prioritizing his image over his artistry. But it wasn't just about the music. 50 Cent also took aim at Diddy's business practices, publicly accusing him of exploiting his artists and taking credit for their work. Puff's not a producer, he famously said in an interview. He's a thief. He's been stealing people's ideas for years. While Diddy tried to brush off the criticism, it was clear that 50 Cent had struck a nerve, and as the years went on, the animosity between them only deepened. Jay-Z, on the other hand, had largely stayed out of 50 Cent's line of fire until recently. For years, the two existed in parallel worlds, occasionally crossing paths but never clashing in any meaningful way. That changed when Jay-Z's name was dragged into the allegations surrounding Diddy. Suddenly, 50 Cent had a new target, and he wasted no time turning his attention to the Roc Nation founder. On social media, he began posting cryptic messages implying that Jay-Z wasn't as squeaky clean as he appeared to be. In one now-deleted post, 50 Cent wrote, "Where's Jay? He's been real quiet while this is going down. Makes you wonder, doesn't it?" The implication was clear. If Diddy was going down, Jay-Z wasn't far behind.
You know what I mean? Like, not when a relationship like that. Like, they've been with each other. Look, I was an opening act for the cash.
The timing of 50 Cent's attacks couldn't have been worse for Jay-Z, who was already facing mounting scrutiny over his alleged involvement in the same incidents that had landed Diddy in hot water. While Jay-Z has consistently denied the accusations, the mere association has been enough to tarnish his carefully crafted image. For years, he's been seen as the ultimate success story, someone who rose from humble beginnings to become one of the most powerful figures in the world. But now that image is being questioned, and it's clear 50 Cent is relishing every moment of it. What's particularly fascinating about this feud is how it forces a re-examination of the relationships between these three men. On the surface, it might seem like just another celebrity beef, a clash of egos between larger-than-life personalities. But upon closer inspection, it's clear that this is about much more than personal grudges. It's about power, influence, and the lengths people will go to protect their legacies. For Diddy and Jay-Z, the stakes couldn't be higher. Both have built empires that go far beyond music, and their reputations are central to their success. If the allegations against them hold weight, it could spell disaster not just for their careers, but for the entire network of businesses and partnerships they've spent decades building.
Nobody in control of me. Like, I do what I want to do. So, I'm deciding to f your life up.
Then there's 50 Cent, who seems to be playing an entirely different game. Unlike Diddy and Jay-Z, he doesn't have as much to lose. Sure, he's a successful businessman, but his brand has always been tied to controversy. He thrives on being the outsider, the provocateur, the one unafraid to say what everyone else is thinking. For him, this feud isn't a liability, it's an opportunity. By positioning himself as the whistleblower, the one willing to expose the dark underbelly of the industry, he's not only taking down his rivals, but also solidifying his legacy as a disruptor. What makes this situation even more intriguing is the role public perception is playing. In today's world, where social media dominates the conversation, the court of public opinion often holds more power than any legal ruling. Right now, that court is deeply divided. On one side, fans of Diddy and Jay-Z are standing by their idols, insisting the allegations are baseless and part of a larger plot to bring them down. On the other side, people believe that where there's smoke, there's fire, and that these men, who spent years portraying themselves as untouchable, are finally being held accountable.
That's not really beef, though. That's just competitive.
Competitiveness. All right, so you and Diddy, you and Puff cool?
No, I don't really rock with
okay.
that.
The Netflix docuseries is only intensifying the conflict, with early reports suggesting it doesn't just focus on the allegations, but also explores the broader culture of secrecy and complicity that has allowed powerful figures in the industry to operate unchecked for so long. For viewers, it's not just about Diddy and Jay-Z, it's about what they represent. The series is expected to shed light on systemic issues that have plagued the industry for decades, including exploitation, corruption, and more. While 50 Cent has made it clear that he's not holding back, he's also hinted that the series is about more than just tearing people down, it's about justice and giving a voice to those who've been silenced for too long. As the release date approaches, the tension between all parties is escalating, with Diddy and Jay-Z reportedly intensifying their efforts to block the series, while 50 Cent continues to tease fans with cryptic posts and behind-the-scenes updates. Although it's impossible to predict how this story will unfold, one thing is certain: the stakes have never been higher.